It is I, John Reagan, the uncommon voice for the common man, coming to you today live from Shadyside, Ohio, where I have more than a few things to say to you damn left-wing wackos in our federal government about these shootings in France. Now, in case you haven't heard, the French authorities now have the suspect centered in his apartment in Toulouse, France, and are about ready to move in and get him, but they hope that he surrenders. But let us review what has happened. Now, you don't hear too much about this in the mainstream media, and there's a reason for that, and I'll get to that in just a second. But 3 French paratroopers that I know of were shot and killed by this suspect. Okay, now, the French paratroopers that were killed apparently at some time were stationed in Afghanistan, and these people were the ones that were shot down. There were 3 of them as far as I know. But if you remember, a few days later, there was that tragic incident at a Jewish school in France where 3 Jewish children and 1 rabbi was shot down dead by this suspect. Now, why you don't hear about it in our press around here is one simple reason that I found out today. This guy is a Muslim. That's right. He's one of these peace-loving Muslims that these Islamo-loving leftists are trying to convince us pose us no threat. That's right. This guy name is Mohammed Mahira, and really I don't give a damn if I do mispronounce his name. But they have him surrounded in his apartment in Toulouse. They believe he is the gunman. He is of Algerian descent. Oh my God, imagine that. And he says he has ties to Al-Qaeda. So why would that concern us in this country? Well, for one reason and one reason only. Now let us go see what our famous Justice Department is doing to keep us safe from these peace-loving Muslims. Now remember, our Justice Department is run by Barack Obama, the man who is not a Muslim, and his Attorney General, Eric Green Card holder. That's right. Now, in case you missed this a few weeks ago, because this is one of these things that they don't want you to know about either in the press, the Justice Department is receiving a little bit of flack because they are investigating the New York City Police Department for investigating possible terror suspects that just happen to be Muslims. That's right, our Justice Department is more worried about civil rights violation for Muslims than they are protecting American citizens. So let's hear what Eric Green Card holder had to say to Congress about this. Now, this is what he said on February 28th. Okay, Attorney General Eric Holder told Congress on Tuesday that months after receiving complaints about the New York Police Department's surveillance of entire American Muslim neighborhoods, the Justice Department is beginning a review to decide whether to investigate civil rights violations. He went on to say this: should only do so, investigate, when there is a basis to believe that something inappropriate is occurring or potentially could occur. Now, he's not talking about terrorist acts. He's talking about possible civil rights violations. That's right. He could care less if there are any terrorist activities going on. He's more worried about civil rights violations of Muslim Americans. That's what Eric Green Card holder's all upset about. He doesn't give a damn about the possibility that the finest police department in the face of the planet is investigating terrorists, suspected terrorists, in order to keep us safe. Which leads us right back to what's going on in Toulouse, France. I ask you this, Eric Green Card holder, and you damn Islamo-loving leftists, do you think that anything that's going on in France right now would have any reason for Eric Holder to raise his antenna and to just possibly be a little bit alert about something like that happening in this country? You're damn right it ought to, because it's the damn Muslims that's behind this. And instead, you people are worried about civil rights of Muslims instead of protecting us. I think you have your mixed up. But now, let's go back to France and look about this Mohammed, and I don't give a damn if I mispronounce his name. Now, let's look at the hypocrisy going on in the media about this. Now, I want to take you back to those unfortunate shootings in Norway, where a guy by the name of Anders Behring was shot and killed some poor Muslim children in Oslo, Norway, and shocked the entire nation. The left-wing wackos couldn't wait to get his face put up on their newscast. And horrible atrocities that were going on caused by Andrew Behring. And you know why they didn't like Andrew Behring, and this was horrible, and it was all over all the news outlets with all the commentators and all the prognostications about it? Because Andrew Behring happens to be a white guy with blue eyes, and he is a Christian. And he did this horrible thing to these Muslim children. And true, it was horrible. And true, it might have deserved press coverage. It does deserve press coverage. The hypocrisy, of course, is we hear absolutely nothing going on with the killing of these 3 Jewish children and a rabbi in France by a man who is a Muslim. Absolutely none. So in other words, in the press's eyes, if you're a Christian with blonde hair and blue eyes and you go in and waste Muslim children, it's an atrocity, which it is. And that being said, then what is the difference with this Muslim man going into a Jewish school and gunning down Jewish children and a rabbi? Well, apparently, it doesn't deserve the press coverage that Andrew Behring got. The hypocrisy is absolutely astounding. And me, for one, I've had enough of it. I am sick to death of these damn Islamo-loving leftists in the administration doing everything they can to appease this peace Muslim religion at our expense. Now, with that being said, I say this now to you damn left-wing lunatics that are running this country. The enemy is the Muslims. It's not the New York City Police Department. It's not white Christians. It's not Tim Tebow. It's not Rush Limbaugh. It's not Sean Hannity. It's not Sarah Palin. It's these damn peace-loving Muslims. And until you get your damn heads out of your asses and face that fact, we are all in serious trouble. And if anything happens in this country, it's going to be on your heads. It's your responsibility for not doing what needs to be done. The New York City Police Department should be praised for their efforts of going after these suspected terrorists and keeping us safe. The borders need to be fixed on the southern border right now, because Muslims can actually shave off their beards and they look like Mexicans. Don't you understand that? There is a national security threat at our southern border, and you're doing nothing about it because you want to get all these Hispanics in here to vote for the Democrats, and you could get us all killed in the damn process.